Hi, friends. Going live tonight because we didn't get a chance to do it today. And so I'm just going to set up a little fireplace here for us. And a little background. A little background for us. And then we're going to put up our elf right here. I'll put the elf beside me. Okay, there we go. All right. How are you guys doing? I'm wearing my Christmas pajamas. They got candy canes, but I'm also wearing my robe because it's almost 11 o'clock at night. So I started reading this book and I'm considering DNFing because I don't like the characters. So, a lot of the novels, a lot of the fiction that I have read in the past few years have been literary fiction. A lot of the books that I have read, many have. Many of the books that I have read in the past few years have been literary fiction. They are more allegorical than character focused. So I don't know why I'm struggling to discover this about myself, that I guess I need to connect with a character in order to really feel like I'm enjoying the book, at least this kind of book. So I'm not that far in, and I'm not sure that I'm going to go much further with it because it's just not like it's 300 pages, right? It is, yeah, it's almost 400 pages. I just don't see myself devoting a lot of time to that book right now. So there's that. That was a pretty easy decision. So this was a gift from the publishers. You again, Kate Goldbeck. Maybe I'll come back to it at some point. I just don't think it's a book I'm going to be reading now. So we need to discover, we need to figure out what we're actually going to read, because I do need to pick up something. I do need to pick up a book. I have a lot of goals, a lot of reading goals that are not met, that are not close to being met, that I should be working on right now. But I don't know that I'm going to read any of those books either. I think it's safe to say the reading goals for this year have all been discarded. Like all of them. I'm just going to start over next week. I'm going to see what I get read before the end of the year. I'm going to see what I can finish. Some of the books that I've started and are just lingering. But I'm not focusing on trying to meet a goal because I don't think I can. I'm just going to read what I want to for the next few days. So that's where my reading is. I'd love to hear from you. I hope the chat is open. I selected the things I think that would allow you to leave messages in the chat. So I'd love to hear from you. This is a live chat after all. I'd love to hear from you and we could discuss things. I'd love to know how your reading is going. If you are on track to meet your reading goals, a little less than 10 days before the end of 10 days before the end of the year, 10 days left in 2023. How are you doing with your reading goals? Are you on track to meeting them? I guess is my question. As I said, I am not on track to meeting mine, and I'm just not going to worry about it. So far, I think I've finished a little over 100 books. What is distressing? Okay, so I'm not not celebrating the fact that I've read 100 books this year, because it is a fantastic accomplishment. It means that I've read an average of 2 books a week every week for the entire year. That's great. Um, that's nothing to sneeze at. There were years when I struggled to make 100 books, but my public goal was 150 books, which I know that I have read in previous years. I know that I can. Those years were not this year specifically, so it's hard to compare an entire block of life, which is a whole year, to say this year is going to be like any other year. This year's reading is going to be like any other year, just because it's so much time, so many variables in that period of time. So I didn't make my 150 books this year. I didn't make that goal. I'm not on track to reaching it. I don't think there's any way that I could reach it unless I picked up like some little booklets kind of and read those. Not going to make that goal. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine. I'm not pushing to reach it. Well, I'd love to know how you're doing with yours, because I'm curious. So a big part, I was on track. I was on track for a while, but the last 2 months, almost 3 months now, I've finished less than 5 books total, and two of those books have been books for the book club. Well, two of those books, yeah, have been books for the Runwright Reads book club, because I'm still trying to keep up with my buddies with that. And another book or two have been because of buddy reads. But have been having trouble selecting the books that will speak to me. Like, I've picked up so many things and started them and just haven't been able to move further. So there's that too. But I'm also giving myself grace, and just saying, well, if now is not the perfect reading time, we'll just pick it up another time. I get books from publishers and I do review books for publishers. But for the most part, the reading is fun for me. It's entertainment. It is a hobby. It is something that I do because I enjoy it. And so if there are other things that I am being drawn to, like watching Hallmark and Lifetime romance movies at Christmas themed movies, if that's what I'm being drawn to right now, I'm just allowing myself to enjoy that. So I think that's also important, to give yourself the room to do the things that are most appealing to you right now, because I can. So that's what's going on. So I did invite you to participate in a fall reading challenge with me. And so today was the last day of fall. December 21st is the turn of the equinox solstice, the solstice, right? The winter solstice began this afternoon. So the fall reading challenge is officially over. And I plan to come on here tonight and discuss plans for the winter reading challenge, but I haven't completed the prompts, so I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm planning to be on here again live tomorrow, and so I'll share the reading prompts with you. Hopefully I'll have the graphic for you by then. No, I won't have the graphic because I'm having trouble getting into Canva. Sometimes I forget that I don't have my phone. I use my phone for everything, like to create my graphics and to create my thumbnails and to do everything. I was doing everything on the Canva app on my phone, and I can use the Canva website. It's just the manipulation, the actual movements, they're different. Same with like iMovie. I used to edit all my videos on my phone because even though I could do I could edit using iMovie on the computer. I just never figured out how to use the iMovie on the computer because it's different from how the mobile version is different from the web version. So um, not having my phone means that I haven't been doing some of those things, which is also okay. It's also okay. You guys are so you guys love me. You accept me. You're accepting. You're tolerant. And so I know that for most of us it's not that big of a deal. So we'll get to it. We'll get to it soon. But I do. One of the things that I'm planning to do in the next few days is to start making plans for my 2024 reading and sharing that with you and inviting you to participate in that way. Um, in the early part of December, I shared the list for the Runwright Reads book club, that the books that we'll be reading in 2024. And I'm very excited about that because there's some titles on there that I've been wanting to get to. And when I make a plan with the book club, that's probably the best way that I'll follow up with a reading goal, with a reading plan. So I'm very excited for the Runwright Reads book club to be hosting another year of book club and for us to be reading authors from the Caribbean as well as authors who are children of Caribbean parents. We're going to be doing that in 2024, and I shared that list. So if you're new to hearing about the book club and you'd like to participate, it's a um, Caribbean reading objective, and the info is in the community tab on my page. So I'd love it if you join. It's an open book club. You can read all the books with us, or you can read one book for the year. However you'd like to participate, you are welcome. So I know I'm just sitting here and I could be doing something. I could be wrapping gifts. I actually planned to do that. It's just, it feels late. So today being December 21st, it's the shortest day of the year, shortest day, longest night. And it kind of got to me. As the evening wore on, I started feeling more and more like I should be sleeping. It might be the fact that we've been, not me specifically, but people around me have been wearing pajamas for so long. So it was pajama day at my daughter's school today. So the children wore pajamas to school. And so my daughter and I have matching pajamas. And I considered wearing my pajamas when I dropped her off and picked her up, but I didn't. So these are the pajamas. Um, Candy canes and peppermints and all kinds of stuff. It's really nice, but it's thin. So I didn't feel like as an adult I wanted to go out in my pajamas, but my daughter did, and she loved it. All her friends, few of the teachers and administrators in the class in the school were wearing pajamas, and that was nice. And then they had pajama story time at the library this evening. So we went to story time this evening. They started at 5:30. So after school, we came home and had food and hung out and did did a little activity, and then we went to the library. And some of the children, well, did I say this is pajama night, pajama story time, and holiday singing and so on. So some of the children and some of the adults were also wearing pajamas. And so even though I wasn't wearing my pajamas, it felt like bedtime because people were just in pajamas around me all day. So yeah, I'm a little more tired than I thought I would be. But I did want to come on here and hang out with you because this is my attempt at Vlogmas. I'm just trying to see if I could do a live every day for the next few days. 4 days left to Christmas. By now, it's almost 3 days left to Christmas. So we're going to just maybe spend a little time reading. So I've been on here now for almost 15 minutes. So I think, what time does that make? 10:55? Oh, okay. I know some people have to get up early tomorrow morning to get to work and school and whatever else you have going on. Christmas shopping. So I'm not going to expect that you'll spend all the time, but it would be nice if we could just read something before we go to bed. So I'm going to choose a book. I'm going to get up and I'm going to find a couple of books that I want to read. And maybe I'll do a little skim and see how I feel about the book that I read next. So let's see what I'll read. Back. BRB. Okay, so these are my options. Two of these are library books. So this is The Fun Widows Book Tour. This is by Zoe Fishman. Let's check out the synopsis. So this is set in where is it set? I'm not sure. So this has the library barcode blocking the first couple of lines of the synopsis. So I think this is about, okay, so someone died. Okay, so she's a widow. So her husband died. And it says something about her friends, her three best girlfriends. And okay, so she's written a book. Okay, so main character has written a book, some kind of a memoir, and so she's decided that part of her book tour is going to be visiting her three girlfriends and their hometown bookstores. So one is in Atlanta, one is in Boston, and one is in Manhattan. And so the book will span those different places. And yeah, this sounds really interesting. I picked this one up at the library. This is The Fun Widows Book Tour, Zoe Fishman. So out of three, I'm going to rate them. So right now, this is at the top because it's the first one that I've read. This one I wanted to read because we went to visit the Breaker Mansions in Newport when we went there in August. And this is The Lost Summers of Newport. This is by Beatrice Williams, Lauren Willig, and Karen White. I have read these authors before. So those are the three authors right there. I love that. This one is actually blurbed by Book Riot, so that's great. Three historical fiction powerhouses combine efforts to create an enthralling adventure. Okay. No, actually, that's their blurb is not for this book. Their blurb is for another book by that trio. All right, so this one is set, like I said, by the Mansions, and it is a novel of money and secrets set among the famous summer mansions of Newport. So it's spanning the Gilded Age to the present day. 2019, 1899, and 1957. I really want to read this because I wanted to combine reading this with some of the footage that I had, some kind of a vlog that I was working on from going to Newport. Now that my phone has been compromised, I'm not sure I still have any of that footage. I'm not sure. But I'm also not sure that I can read this book right now. It's almost 400 pages. I'm not sure. Oh, I'm putting them over here. And then this I started reading on. This was a gift from the publishers. Random House sent me this one. This is Sophie Kinsella, The Burnout. And we're reading about a woman and her experiences on her job and needing to just kind of get back to herself. So, main character's name is Sasha. It says Sasha has had it. She just cannot bring herself to respond to another inane, urgent, but obviously not at all urgent email or participate in the corporate employee joyfulness program. So, she's working in some, it seems like some kind of a startup, which has one of those just very intense environments. When she tries to leave, like they kind of trick her into staying. And then, I think she kind of runs away to go on vacation. So I started this and I was pretty intrigued by it, but then I stopped reading, and so now I'm gonna have to start again because I don't remember what I had read before. I didn't get that far. I have a bookmark here on page 39. I don't know if that's where I was. I feel like I'd gotten further than that. So these are the books. And out of three, I'm gonna give each one a rating. So the book that I feel most drawn to right now is this one, followed by this one. And this is at the bottom of the pile. So it's definitely not this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start reading this. And if it gives me good vibes, then I'll continue. I feel like I could finish this book by tomorrow, which is really my goal. I think this is going to be an easier read than this one, just based on page length. So this is a paperback and it's 250 pages. And this is a hardcover and it's 400 pages. So this book it is. So The Fun Widows Book Tour by Zoe Fishman is my next read, and I'm going to start it right now. So I'm going to give myself 20 minutes. I'm going to put 20 minutes on the clock and we'll reconvene at 11:22. See you then. Oh, are you reading something? Pop it in the chat if you can. Let me know what you're reading tonight if you're joining me. And even if you're watching this recorded, let's do some reading together. Let me know what you're reading as I read The Fun Widows Book Tour by Zoe Fishman. 20 minutes. Okay. Hi, friend. I see someone watching right now. Are you reading? I'm just reading. So I'd love to know if you're reading with me. This is what I'm reading. 2 more minutes and then we're gonna break. Okay, so I'm at page 25, so I'm gonna stop for now. Um, I'm liking the writing. So actually, okay. So now I gotta do this again. So I'm reading the Fun Widows book tour, and it's a little bit about. I told you what the synopsis was. It's a woman who's an author. The main character is an author who she wrote fiction before, and then her husband died, and so now she has written a memoir about her life, I guess, the year after losing her husband and what it's like being a single mother, even though she didn't plan to. So we're reading a little bit about the three friends and how supportive they've been through the journey of losing her husband. And in the year or years later, because her memoir has just been published. So on the day when we're reading, is publication day for her book. And so if you were watching and you saw or heard me laugh out loud or chuckle distinctly, it was at the beginning of chapter 2 where the author starts reading reviews from the book bloggers. And no, that wasn't there. It was actually in the first chapter. It was when she pulled up one of the first book bloggers' blogs, and she's reading the review, and she is very, very unhappy with what this blogger has to say. And I think about that. I try to be fair when I read a book. Try to be fair to respecting the effort that the author put into the book. That even if it's not a book that I personally enjoy, or doesn't feel like it's a book that was written for me or to me, that the book will have an audience, and I don't want to I don't want to unnecessarily change someone's opinion away from reading a book or trying out a book for themselves. So try to be fair to all of those different desires in picking up a book for myself and reviewing the book honestly, giving you my honest take, but also not unnecessarily influencing you in a negative way, you know. So I understand the author's reaction to reading an unfavorable review. Like she said some curse words. um, just understandable. Also because the book in question is a memoir, and you know what the blogger said about the book was that she wanted more about the woman. It seemed like she was saying that the book was too heavy on the person who was lost and not on the survivor. Um, I understand that too, but it's that woman's story, and she could tell it and choose to share it in whatever way she wants to, right? Some people talk about loss in how it affects them, and some people talk about loss in focusing on the thing that they have lost. So who are we? Who are we as readers to say which one is right or better? So I'm liking the writing. I'm liking the writing, and I like that the character is an older woman. I say older, even though she's younger than me. She's 43. But I like when I'm reading a book that is, a book written to women. I like reading about women who are mature, women who have been through some stuff. So, 43-year-old woman, and she has some strong girlfriends who are very supportive and very available, which makes me think. I mean, it kind of made me think that the characters were younger because they're keeping up with her. Whereas a lot of women in their 40s, they just have so many other things going on in their lives. They don't really have time to focus on female friendships, especially friendships from like long ago. So the three friends that we're going to read about, one of them is a college friend, one of them is from her early work life, and one is a childhood friend. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you're going to respond to these questions in the chat, you could do it anytime, whenever you watch this video. Like the people who you consider to be your best friends now, excluding your spouse, because my husband is my best friend, and my daughter, my daughter is cool. She's cool to hang out with when I'm not correcting her. Even then, she's still cool to hang out with because she takes correction. So my family, but aside from family and my parents, aside from that, for you, who are your best friends? So spouse and siblings, family, immediate family not included. Who are your best friends, and how long have you known these people? Like as an adult in your 30s or 40s or 50s, is your best friend someone that you've known since childhood, or a work friend, someone who started off as a colleague and became your best friend eventually, or someone that you met randomly, or like a college friend, college roommate, that kind of thing. I would love to know. I'd love to know, because I have people who I would call my best friends, but we don't talk often. We don't talk often at all. So I don't know if I can necessarily call them my best friends anymore. I don't know. I'd love to hear from you what your experiences are. So I'm tired, and so I'm gonna go to bed. So it's almost 11:30. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. And I feel accomplished because I read 25 pages in a book. I actively decided to put this aside. Maybe I'll pick it up another time. and I'm picking up this one instead. So this was a gift from the publishers. I don't know if I will write anything about this on Goodreads, but this is a library book, so no no credit no credit to I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Like no advancing of my goal of reading the books that the publishers have been sending to me. This book doesn't help advancing that goal, but it's the book I want to read right now. So doing that. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments or in the chat. Let me know what you're reading. Let me know about your friend or friends, your best friends, your BFF, who that person is to you, how you met them, like how you guys started talking. So yeah, we're looking forward to hearing from you, and we'll come back tomorrow. I'm hoping to do a lunchtime live tomorrow. I don't want to announce the time yet just because I'm not sure what time I'll actually be on here. It's the last shopping day for me before Christmas. So I still have a couple of things that I just need to pick up. More like grocery related things. Like I still want to get some sorrel to mix, and I want to get a couple of things to make a fruit cake over the weekend. Um, and that's more or less that. I might just need to pick up a couple of things like a pair of stockings for my daughter. I've been trying to find some sheer tights for her dress for church on Saturday. Um, but all the tights I have for her right now are thick. So also because it's not cold. We are not on schedule to get a white Christmas in New York this year, which is fine by me. Um, so yeah, just have a few things to pick up. So I may be in and out tomorrow, but I'll let you know as soon as I can what time I'll be here for the lunchtime ish live. But I'll see you tomorrow. So I hope you'll join me then. And until we come back for another video, another Vlogmas continuation, another live video on here. Happy reading, happy holiday preparation, happy Friday. Um, happy everything. Have a great night. Okay, good night.